Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news, folks. If you thought the Packers offseason was just about re-signing a few key players and tweaking the roster here and there, think again. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade that could reshuffle the entire NFC landscape. And at the heart of this speculation is none other than Tyreek Hill, the electrifying wide receiver from the Miami Dolphins. Yes, you heard that right, Tyreek Hill potentially making his way to Green Bay. Now I know what you're thinking. Is this really happening? Well, the chatter has intensified, and it's not just idle gossip. It's a serious talking point among NFL insiders, and it could very well be the kind of move that propels the Packers into Super Bowl contention once again. Let's start by breaking down the details. The Dolphins, after a disappointing 6-11 record in 2025, are clearly in rebuild mode. Their cap situation is tight, with about $42 million in cap space, but a significant dead cap hit of around $22 million. That means they're looking at clearing some cap and restructuring their team, especially after an underwhelming season where their offense struggled to click consistently. Tyreek Hill, at age 31, still remains one of the most explosive playmakers in the league. In 2025, he racked up 98 receptions for 312 yards and 8 touchdowns, averaging 13.4 yards per catch. His career totals now surpass 500 yards with 75 touchdowns and his PFF grade of 89. 4 underscores how impactful he's been when healthy. Hill is not just fast, he's a game changer. His EPA per target sits at an impressive 0.27, meaning he consistently creates big plays and positive value every time he's targeted. His yards after catch average of 6.2 yards per reception, combined with a contested catch rate of 62%, and only 1 drop all season, proves he's reliable even under pressure. Plus, he's got 22 plays over 50 yards in his career, making him an absolute nightmare for defenses. Despite a hamstring injury that caused him to miss 3 games in 2025, Hill still posted a 91.8 PFF receiving grade, which is comparable to top-tier receivers like Diggs, especially in yards after catch and big play ability. Now, why would the Dolphins trade him? Well, after a 6-11 season, they're eyeing a rebuild, particularly on the offensive line, which graded only 63.7 by PFF. They're also looking to extend Tua Tagovailoa's contract and save some cap space, about $25 million, by moving on from Hill. The plan is to recoup draft capital, possibly a first-round pick in the 2026 draft, and focus on building a more balanced, sustainable roster. The Dolphins are also considering trading Hill for multiple picks, which could help them beef up their offensive line and give Tua more protection, a key to unlocking his potential. For the Packers, acquiring Hill would be a game-changer. Imagine the impact of adding a player who can generate over 400 yards and 10 touchdowns in a system led by Jordan Love. Green Bay's offense has been solid, but it's lacked that explosive element that turns drives into highlight reel plays. Hill's speed, running a 4.3 40-yard dash, would open up the field like never before. His deep roots stretch defenses vertically, creating more room underneath for Watson, who would benefit from the extra space. With Hill drawing safeties back, Watson's yards per route could jump from around 1.7 to over 2.5, making him a much more dangerous weapon. Adding Hill also boosts the running game. Post-Jacobs, the Packers are averaging about 4.2 yards per carry, but Hill's presence can help open lanes for the running backs. His ability to threaten defenses deep makes defenders respect the vertical attack, which in turn creates more running room for Jones and Dillon. Not to mention Hill's yards after catch, over 200 in his career, means he's not just a speed guy, he's a versatile receiver who can make plays in space and pick up extra yards after the catch. His contested catch percentage of 65% and a red zone EPA of 0.30 show he's also clutch when it matters most. What makes this trade even more intriguing is the potential playoff impact. Hill's track record in high-stakes games is impressive. He's accumulated over 600 yards in his playoff career and has consistently been a difference-maker when it counts. For the Packers, adding a player of his caliber could take their offense from good to elite, especially in the postseason. His ability to create big plays like the 50-plus yard bombs would force defenses to stay honest, opening up the entire playbook for Love and the entire offensive unit. Now, let's talk about the division and the NFC at large. The NFC is wide open, with contenders like the Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys vying for supremacy. But with the addition of a talent like Hill, the Packers could position themselves as serious contenders. The odds of winning the Super Bowl, which were previously around plus 12-0, could drop significantly, perhaps to plus 3-0 or better, if this move happens. That's the kind of shift that makes fans dream of a deep playoff run, a return to the top, and another shot at that elusive Lombardi trophy. Of course, there are skeptics. Some point out Hill's age, 31, and his injury history as concerns. But in the NFL, speed and playmaking ability don't just disappear overnight. Hill's production remains elite, and his presence would elevate everyone around him. The Packers front office has shown a willingness to get creative with cap management, restructuring contracts and managing injuries, so they could afford the cap hit, especially if they move some of their own assets around. Rebuilding their pass-catching core with a proven weapon like Hill makes strategic sense, especially when the team's current group averages only around 210 yards passing per game, which leaves room for improvement. This trade could also serve as a statement to the rest of the league. The Packers are serious about contending now. It's not just about developing young talent, it's about bringing in proven winners and game changers. Hill's presence would stretch defenses, create mismatches, and give Jordan Love a true home run threat whenever he drops back to pass. And with the team managing their cap through restructures, they can keep their options open for further upgrades or extensions in the future. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could be the catalyst that revitalizes the Packers' offensive identity. It's about more than just adding a star. It's about reshaping the entire strategy around explosive plays and vertical threats. The Packers have historically been a team that values strong defense and efficient passing, but bringing in Hill would add that extra element of unpredictability and big play potential that could make them unstoppable. And let's not forget, the NFL is all about momentum. If this trade happens, it would energize the fan base, create buzz around the team, and energize the locker room. Players like Watson and the running backs would benefit from the gravity Hill would command, and it could push Green Bay into that upper echelon of NFC teams. The NFC North might still have the Vikings and Lions, but with a weapon like Hill, the Packers could be the team to beat, especially if they leverage this move to make a deep playoff push. In conclusion, folks, the rumors of Tyreek Hill heading to Green Bay are more than just hot air. They carry the potential to reshape the entire NFC picture. The Packers, with their young quarterback and a roster hungry for explosive talent, could be on the verge of making a bold statement. It's a move that could turn around their fortunes, boost their Super Bowl odds, and establish them as serious contenders once again. The NFL landscape is shifting, and Green Bay might just be at the center of it. Make sure to stay tuned because this story is far from over, and if it comes true, it will be one of the biggest moves in recent Packers history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Tyreek Hill could be the piece that finally puts the Packers over the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. Whether it's personnel moves, game previews, or deep dives into strategy, we've got you covered. Until then, keep the faith and let's get ready for what could be an incredible season ahead. Go Pack, go.